And it's just fucking crazy what's going on because they asked Donald Trump, the president of the United States, what does he think about Miss Maxwell? And he
wish
said,
her well.
I wish her fucking well. He didn't say fuck because he would never cuss. But I wish her well. And it's like, what? That doesn't tell you about everything that's going on in the power structure and that Bill Clinton and the Dems and Republicans are holding hands behind the scenes and make, even though I don't know if Trump is a real Republican, who knows what he is, but his own thing. But like, I've always said, man, don't get caught up in the sides because they're probably drinking champagne, laughing at our asses.
Oh yeah. Toasting to the poor folk.
But how can you say wish her well? Oh, I used to know her down in Florida. Wish her well. I'm not following it. You're not following it.
I guess they lived in Palm Beach as well.
Well, here's the thing: Trump's a master at like attacking Hillary Clinton,
right?
And her husband, and her husband is definitely connected to Epstein, like more than anyone. Maybe not Prince Andrew. He's defending her. You know he knows what's fucking going on. That is a bold-faced fucking lie.
Of course he does. But does that surprise you, Jay?
It doesn't, but it still shocks me. It shouldn't surprise me, but it still does. And this whole thing shouldn't surprise me. This COVID thing, this Epstein thing, I've been looking at conspiracies since I first got the internet. And they're all turning out to be goddamn true, and I'm shaking in my boots.
Dude, you know what, man? I read this article, and the headline, of course, that's, because that's what a good headline should do. It should fucking grab you enough to where you want to read the article. And those are usually the articles I read. And the article, dude, a judge that just took on a portion of the Epstein case, her son got murdered. Did you see that?
Yep.
And it turns out,
FedEx.
Yeah, right. And this is the story that they're using, that, he's a woman hater and that, he had this long time grudge against her and that's why he did it.
Who did?
The guy that murdered the son. He went to her house trying to murder her. And she was in the basement, and so I guess he shot the husband and shot the son. And and the son died. But yeah, it's like when I read it, of course, I'm thinking, oh, this is tied to Epstein shit. This is the rich and powerful quieting some motherfuckers. But the article was basically gearing it towards, well, he had, he's anti-women rights, and he's always had this grudge against this judge and all this shit. And it's like, oh, come on, don't give me that shit.
Well, that right there is that what they call it, the distraction.
Right.
That's what I always say. Like, I honestly believe the BLM is a distraction. I think there's a lot of good in it, but they give you these little chips so you don't take the big cookie because they don't want us looking up. I think I've said it on almost every podcast, but you got Geraldo Rivera. Remember him? I think he used to have like a Maury talk show or some shit back in the day. Well, he's a huge conservative now. He's been on Fox News for years now. He came out last week or 2 weeks ago and said, like tweeted or publicly said, I got to say her name right, Ghislaine Maxwell. It's ridiculous that they arrested her and didn't give her bail because that was 25 years ago and it's so long ago it shouldn't stand in court and they should give her bail. What the fuck have you been doing? Right. What the fuck has Geraldo been fucking? Right? So Trump, Geraldo, they're trying to get on our good side, it sounds like.
Oh, fuck. Or someone's good side.
Yeah,
there's some powerful motherfuckers behind the curtains that we will never know about, Jay. And you know what? When I saw that she was even up for bail, I was like, what the fuck? How you going to let this bitch bail out? That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, and what's weird is the sweetheart deal on the documentary. Remember the sweetheart deal with Epstein?
Yeah.
He said all my I don't know what you say, my posse, my entourage, they are extradited, or not extradited. They're basically, what do they call it when you're like, you can't be taken to court. That was part of the deal.
Oh, okay, yeah,
so staff or whatever.
Yeah, I forgot what that's called.
And it was from like 2005, 2015, I forget, something like that. So they're having what they got her on are from the 90s, the late 90s, like 95, 98 or some shit like that. So they can't even get her for that shit because some weird deal happened with the fucking judge.
Like double jeopardy type shit.
Just some, like, no one knows what deal it is. It's still like nothing ever like this has happened in recent history or history. I don't know.
Right.